What's up, guys? NepentheZ here, and welcome back to another MFL video where today we are starting Season 5. That is right, Season 5 is here, and I have got a lot to get through today. It's most likely going to be quite a long video here, guys, so buckle up, settle down, and let's kind of just start at the beginning. And the beginning is, guys, that Season 5 is here. And I am super, super, super excited. When I looked at the prize pools for Spark, I was quite pleased, actually, for a couple of reasons. Sorry, got an itchy back. Reason number one is, especially when you incorporate cups as well, finishing anywhere probably but last or just above last, and even then finishing in those areas there, you should realistically be able to accumulate 2 packs minimum per season from Spark of the 600 MFL packs. It's not pretty, it's not exciting, and especially if you're doing it with just one team, but it's good. You know, if it was only 1 pack per season, which it might be if you have bad cup runs, right? But even if you finish now like 7th in Spark, you're guaranteed 2 packs. Third will guarantee you 3 packs. First will guarantee you 4 packs and obviously a shot in ice. I like it a lot. I think the prize pool breakdown is really, really strong. And looking at the cup rewards as well, the Aspirants Cup, which is the lowest tier, which is where almost all of my clubs are going to be in this time. For Aspirants Tier 1, you're looking at 320 MFL per win. Now, obviously, I had a few teams in like Aspirants Tier 72 and stuff last season where it was like 50 MFL for a win and such. That's still decent. And just to clarify, the strongest teams get put higher up. So if you've got a really, really weak team, you get put in a way, way, way lower Aspirants tier or Rivals tier or whatever, kind of relative to your strength and then relative to the MFL that you get. But the prize pools are here. And if you're thinking to yourself, Nep, I want to get involved, how do I do it? Well, it's simple. The first thing you're going to want to do for the next at least 9 days from now anyway is still use that Dapper link and the Disney link down below. Go and sign up with that Disney link. Go and get yourself your $25 for free. And the way you do that is by purchasing the $6.95 pin set on Disney's Dapper thing. You immediately get $25 credited to your wallet, and then you can use that $25 on MFL. With that, you've got 3 options. Option number 1 is going and buying the brand new Season 5 Club promo pack, because not only do you get $25 for free, well, $18 for free, so it costs you actually only about $62, you also get a free starter pack, which gives you 2 players, which is quite nice. And if you sign up to MFL using my link, rather than just the Dapper link, using this link here, you will also get a free player. So for just straight away for your $80, which of course you're getting a large portion of that off, you can get yourself a club and 3 players to start the season, which isn't too bad. If, however, you're not interested in buying the club, you can use that $25 that you get from Dapper to buy 2 of the starter packs. That will give you 4 players. You can then loan them out in your agency. And although you won't actually be playing the game, you can still monitor their progression. You can still follow their careers, and they can still earn you MFL, which is quite nice. And the third way of playing is actually going to the marketplace and buying a club. And I can't lie, guys, I think this is an incredibly appealing option right now. I am mesmerized. There was 2 clubs up earlier for $58, and I really wish I bought them. I am mesmerized by how cheap a club is here. So you could effectively go and get your 25 Dapper dollars for $6.95. So, you know, you're $18 better off, and then buy one of these clubs with 18 of Dapper's dollars effectively, you know, so you still your same $6.95. So you'll actually be picking up a club for like $45, $46 at the moment, which is a really, really strong place to be. So that's how you get involved to play MFL. Now, the first thing I just want to address, because I know a lot of people have seen it, a lot of people have reached out and talked to me about it. Wait, how can I be having a friendly against me? I don't have any players in the club. Does it use like the last team instead? Japes, what are you doing to me, man? As you can see, when we look at my HQ and my clubs, guys, I have got a platinum team. there is a story with this team. Ultimately, in long story short, myself, Josh, and Japes are kind of going in together to get a club that's going to be high up the divisions. But we kind of wanted to absorb some relegations whilst finding our way to gold, and gold is where we're going to play. So I bought a platinum club. The idea was to buy a team that will compete in gold, that will get relegated in platinum, enjoy last place platinum rewards, or if by some miracle we stay in there, great, and then play in gold and rebuild and build up. And as I say, there's a story there, and there will be a lot more of an understanding as to what's happening over the coming days. However, and this will be explained in detail when everything is kind of said and done, in a wild turn of events, this team's getting promoted to Diamond, which is mad. And the reason why it's getting promoted to Diamond, well, it's not 100% getting promoted to Diamond yet. We still got to figure that out based on another guy who's got 2 teams in Diamond right now. If he sells one of them, both of those teams stay in Diamond, and this team doesn't get promoted to Diamond. But if he keeps both of them, he's not allowed 2 teams. You're not allowed 2 teams in the same division. So his team will remain in Platinum, and X3 will get promoted to Diamond. So you ask yourself how? Well, first place already got promoted to Diamond. Samba, who finished second, won their playoffs, so they got promoted to Diamond. And so because you need 3 teams to get relegated and therefore 3 teams to get promoted, in League 2 of Platinum, if so I understand it correctly, none of these guys won their playoffs. So it is just this team, right? Maybe not this team, whichever team it is that was owned by Dio. Whatever the situation is the next promotion spot effectively gets passed down to the team that I bought here, X3. Which means if Dio, yeah, this guy here, if Dionysius, he's already got a team in Diamond. So he can't, this team that finished first can't get promoted because he's got a team in Diamond, unless he sells this team, right? This team in second won the playoffs, which means they would have absorbed that promotion for first place. But because he's already getting promoted and he can't get promoted, we're getting promoted, which is wild. And so the strategy changed a little bit, and we actually decided to try and give it a shot in Diamond and see if we can loan in and maybe purchase some players. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be to get there. But as I say, that'll be a story for another day. I want to actually make like a real concise video about that with the rest of the clubs that I've got, guys. And you might notice there are a lot. My plan this season was to play with 5 Spark teams, 5 Ice, or 5, my Prestige 26 in Stone, my 4 Ice teams, and 5 Spark teams. I've got a lot more than that. I've still got some licenses as well, which I won't be unlocking this season. I'll be saving those for a rainy day. And if some really fun, in fact, I did want an England license, but I don't want to pay too much for it because I want one more team for this season. But it has to be a license that is from England. So, yeah. Doesn't look like, oh, hold on. Can I not just go to country, England? And yeah, the cheapest one's 90. If that comes down to like 75, 73, $70, whatever, maybe I'll pick it up. But in the meantime, no. However, each club has I've rebranded to Evo FC. I haven't got around to rebranding the badges yet. The badges will get rebranded and the clubs will eventually have, I've done it for some of them, but the clubs will eventually have their bios also written down to kind of explain what the mission for each club is. And so if you did want to just kind of go and figure out what it is I want to do with each team, you could just go there. But this is the primary club for NepentheZ. Of course, that is me. The mission is simple. Promotion. Not at any cost, but this team will be filled with agency best to make sure we can promote as often as possible. That is not true either, because I've already agencyed or contracted out 4 of my 5 rares. Obviously, a Burrow I bought last season, and he tier breaked into a rare. I got offered 6% and 2% if he doesn't match 15 games in Iron. And so, if we look at the Iron setup, and from what I was looking, that the guy who had built who's taken him hasn't finished building his club, but he's got some really strong players, like genuinely to the point where I think he does really strong in Iron. So I'm going to be taking 6% which is going to be, anywhere from about 500 MFL all the way up to about like 1200 MFL plus the cup content. And so when I look at what I paid for a barrel, which I think was $50, no, $43. There's a weird situation right now on Floaty where common packs, the 600 MFL packs, are selling for like $2.50 up towards $3.50. If he earns me 1200 MFL and I buy 2 packs and then sell them on Floaty at the end of the season 5 and make $7 back and just do that like 5 more times, I've literally made my money back from him. If, however, I open those packs and then those players yield more MFL over lifetime span, and we extract more value out of it like that, or one of them takes off and I sell it for $100 or something, then I'm so happy. I'm really content loaning players out. Now, 2 things, guys, before I go any further about the teams, because that is what today is about, kind of looking at what team's going to be what. I will not build them here with you guys because it is going to be a slog. I just want to tell you what they are and what the plan is for each of them. But as you can see here, I have got my first soon-to-be retiree, and it is Headstrom. I just bought him last season for $18. I still think the value that I will get from him is worthwhile. 4 seasons in total that I'll get from him, because I had him last season. He's got 3 seasons left now. So, that boils down to about $4.50 per season to have a 70 rated player in the ranks. Not bad. I really, really, really don't mind it. It's a bit unfortunate, but one thing for you guys to pay attention to with your older players, if they don't have the will retire soon notice, you are guaranteed this season plus 3 more, at least, because you get the notification straight away that they're retiring. So for me, all 4 of these 30-year-olds will all play until they are at least 34 years old, which is amazing, especially for Richel. I don't even know where this... Oh, did I buy this person? I did. Yeah. I bought this person on a bit of a hunch as well, actually, that they hopefully wouldn't get the retirement, because I really, really like certain properties here for this player. 80 pace and 81 defending, whilst only being a 72 rated. The physical's a little lower, but I really needed a new centre-back for this upcoming season. I do want to get promoted, obviously. So $23 there, and I'm guaranteed at least 4 seasons, which is good. And the same with Mezaros there. And you can see, guys, I've got a few players out, a few players in Dev Center. I wish I didn't put them in there now, but it is what it is. And I have opened all of my packs already. I was going to record the packs. I did last season, actually. I recorded the pack openings. I bet you it was like a really popular video as well, and I've missed out on a real big video. Where is it? This is already season 4. Where was my new agency? Season 4 expectations. Match day 1 review. Maybe I didn't. Oh, there you go. MFL pack opening. Oh, that was just a pack drop though. End of season 3. Oh, here we go. This is it. Yeah. So on this video, sorry, I'm all over the place here. You deserve better. On this video here, oh, City already 1-0 up against Aston Villa. On this video here, once we get through the advert there, I sat there and I opened all of these packs, and because they're just low-rated players, it's just not worth it. It's just like I started opening some and recording it. And afterwards, I was like, do you know what? This is just a ball ache. Like because it takes like about a minute to open a pack. I had, I think, like 52 packs altogether or whatever. I thought it's going to be an hour of me just looking at these players going, he's all right. Oh, he's all right. Oh, he's all right. So I thought instead, what I'll do is take you through what I plan to do with the teams and then start facilitating those teams with players. I'm going to have to buy a whole bunch of players for this season as well, and I'm excited for it. But when we look at the clubs, let me get my spreadsheet here. Prestige 26, as I've already kind of put into the club bio, I just want to get this team promoted. I want to move up into Iron Division for next season. I will probably constantly kind of curate this team with buying players. I don't really want to loan in players. I don't mind investing money into this platform. Actually, I've done really nicely from these Disney dollars as well. I hope you guys have done as well. But so I've got kind of like some spare cash to play with in that regard, and so I don't mind kind of like buying but I don't want to go and buy like a team that's too good for Stone to the point where I miss out on progression. So I want to kind of like buy with the curve that I'm in. And one of two things will happen with the players that I've got that are in this team now. So hopefully I'll get promoted this season with Prestige 26. If I do get promoted, half of the team will end up getting either sold, but probably not. The half of the team that won't compete in the division above will most likely get either agencyed out to people for some rev share in the Stone division, or will get put down to the next team, because I will try my best to get one or two of these ice teams promoted this season. So for Evo FC first owner, the idea is really, really simple. The players must be first owner only. And MFL, if you watch this, I would like two things from you immediately, okay? This is honestly priority number one. Forget everything that you're doing that's really important to you. And, you know, what I want is primary, right? Obviously, it's not. I'm joking, but no, we'll be keeping him. Obviously, what I want isn't primary, but there are two things that I would genuinely love when it comes to looking at players. There's a lot of real estate on these cards, right? Especially in this area, upper left like section of the card. I would really like something to denote whether or not the player is somebody that has been purchased or somebody that has been packed, right? So that I can just have a real quick glance and just know immediately, oh, I packed that person. So then they're first owned. Also, it would be really appreciated if we got, I know they have the age here, but if we got the season that they were born, see how it says Series 1 on the left-hand side of this card anyway? If it has just like Season 4, and that's the year he was born, it would be really nice to kind of just like very quickly be able to determine how long a player has been around for, how old they are, like in the game and things like that. So I would really appreciate those two things. If you ever had the spare time to create such a thing, it would be really, really handy, especially when it comes to me building, for example, the first owner club, because now I'm going to go in here. I want to build a team for first owner FC. Like if I can get it promoted, that would be great. You know, the idea would be nice to kind of get it promoted, but I need to get 18 players in this squad. And so on that regard, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go goalkeeper, and I'm going to go, ooh, which ones are mine and which ones have I bought? And that's that. Like, it would just be really nice to immediately know, even from this screen, just have a little tab here. You know, again, there's loads of real estate here, just to be like packed or purchased or first owner, yes or no. And then season born. Like that sort of information would just be really, really handy. With that being said, yeah, first owner FC, it's just going to be first owner players. I would like to get it promoted. Obviously, I'm going to rely on the farm teams from underneath it to continuously supply this team. You know, hopefully I get some good progression from some of my players this season to the point where they're eligible to go into this team next season. I've then got two literal farm teams. So we've got Tunis Ice Farm and Neuchâtel Ice Farm. That's because where the clubs are from. And again, I will get the badges changed eventually. And these will just be players that are good enough to hopefully compete in Ice and Stay. But I just like basically like the once I've filled in Prestige 26, First Owner FC, and that's actually it for now. The next best players will go in here, apart from maybe some good players will go into some Spark teams to try and get promoted. But the idea here is just the farm teams. And then we've got Evo FC Road to Glory. Now, I need to get to work on this one, actually, because Road to Glory is going to be a club where, and I'm going to try and account this on a spreadsheet, I'm going to loan in the entire team this season on Road to Glory, but I'm going to try and do it as cheap as possible. You know, if I can only give up 40 or 50% rev share, I don't want any of my players on here. I just want to be able to utilize other people's players to get this team promoted and keep as much of the MFL as possible. And I'm going to monitor over the seasons how much MFL I kind of keep for myself from this club. So that's going to be the plan for this team. So as I say, I need to get kind of scouting, see what kind of team I'm going to need, and go from there with this one to try and fill that in. So if you have any players that are good for the Ice Division, really good for the Ice Division, and you want to be you want to have your player managed by me, reach out. Go to the Discord, discord.gg/NepentheZ. There is an MFL section there. We can arrange something. At the moment as well, we can offer for a player. Wouldn't it be nice as an agent if you could offer a player? So I could go and take some of my best players and go to some teams and managers and be like, hey, you want this guy? You want 7%? That would be quite fun. But, Aston Villa have scored. Marcus Rashford with the golazo. Damn. He's doing all right, isn't he, old or young Rashford or middle-aged? I don't know. What sort of... I don't know how old he is. Either way, that is my 4 Ice teams and Stone team and their plans. We've then got Club 135. Now, this is serial number 135. It's the lowest serial number that I own. Because the club manager was stagnant for a while, we just kept getting relegated to now it's in Spark Division. This club is your club. And I don't mean like I'm going to give it to you. I will do some giveaways from some of the clubs that I've got, mind you. But the whole plan for this club is to always have 25 players in it per season. No, sorry, 20 players in it per season, beg your pardon. The 20 players per season. Every single loan... Wait, what did I write? It might be 25 players at 4% or 20 at 5. I think I wrote the blurb. Oh, I didn't. I think I'm going to do 20 players. I think 25 is too much. I won't be able to give everyone game time. So 20 players in this club that will be your players. I will give every single player 5% rev share. I will take 0% rev share from this club. I will earn nothing from this club. But I want to take this club, Club 135, just up and up and up and up and up, whilst giving you guys the MFL. So if you, again, much like the Road to Glory club, which is more about me trying to keep MFL with that one, this club here is about me taking your guys' players on really fair 5% contracts, building out a team that can get promoted and win Spark Division. Then the next season, we go again, a new bunch of players. And they're first come, first serve kind of scenario. If there's some good offers out there for me, we'll get promoted from the Ice Division. Then we'll get promoted from the Stone Division. Then we'll get promoted from the next division. And the only benefit I'll get from it is just having a club that rises in value as it goes up the ranks. But the MFL will always, always go to you guys for Club 135. This will have nothing to do with me whatsoever. I will run the club. I will manage the team. But in terms of the actual earning from the team, it will go to you guys. So once again, if you've got a club, if you've got a player that you think you want 5% from Spark Division and to have the history of being in Club 135, just reach out on discord.gg/NepentheZ and we'll go from there. We've then got Evo FC Golden Oldies. So this is a team that I want to spend some money on, actually, and I'll use some of my own players in this team, but I want to just buy over 30s for this team. Any player that's 30 years old, even if they're going to be retiring in a few seasons' time, I just want to try and extrapolate as much value out of old players as I can. And so the Evo FC Golden Oldies will be nothing but over 30s. We've then got Evo FC Pack to Glory. So for Pack to Glory, this will be a self-contained RTG. And for a lot of these clubs as well, I'm really going to have to get a spreadsheet for each one to kind of monitor and manage each one. This will be a Road to Glory where I will initially put a team into it, but this team will only ever have players that are obtained by the MFL that this team earns. So season 1, I will give this team about 18 players. It will probably take me about maybe 7 to 9 seasons to get it till it's self-contained. But if this club earns 1,200, and let's say it earns 1,500 MFL, because I want it to be obscure, right? From that 1,500 MFL, I'll buy 2 packs. So then the next season, 2 of the players will be the Pack to Glory players. I'll have 300 spare MFL. Now I can spend that MFL if I like, because it's I don't actually have to have it. But then the next season, if I earn another 1,500 MFL, I'll be able to get 3 more packs. And eventually over time, this team will be a team full of players that is only owned by the MFL that this team has accumulated. And the plan is that after a certain period of time, and it will be a long time of real life, which is why I'm going to need to track and manage it on a spreadsheet. It'll probably be about 18 months, 2 years maybe. And who knows what MFL looks like in that time frame anyway. Eventually, I'll have a team that is all first owned in Pack to Glory, and that will be all self-earned in Pack to Glory, and then I won't have to spend the MFL unless somebody retires. So at that point, the aim will be to start saving up the MFL to get limited players in there or uncommon players in there. If I end up saving 10,000 MFL and get an uncommon player, I got two choices then with that player. Choice number one, I can put that player into the team, which might be illogical if the team is still, down in the Spark and Ice divisions, kind of bouncing around there because the players just aren't good enough because they're coming out of these packs. I've opened a lot of packs today. I got some 39 rated players, but I also got some 54 rated players. If I'm lucky and get a whole bunch of 54s for that club, we're eating. If I'm unlucky and get always 39s, it's going to be terrible. But if I manage to save enough to get a limited player, 2 limited players, 3 limited players, and then loan those out, the MFL that they earn also comes back into the pot. So I'm interested to see what happens over time with a club that is self-sufficient after the initial outlay of players for it, basically. Okay. Next, we've got Spark to Glory. Spark to Glory is going to be exactly the same as Road to Glory, but we're starting in Spark. So the idea is really simple. I will be only loaning in players for this team, but I will be trying to get them as cheap as possible. And the aim is to get promoted. It's not just to try and farm. It's not to be like, let me give up 40% MFL, keep 60% and just, finish 11th or 10th or something in the table. I want to take this team, I want to get it promoted, but I want it to be with players that can get promoted out of Spark. So for the third time today now, if you guys have got players that you'd be interested in loaning for a good, fair, reasonable MFL fee, the Spark to Glory, reach out, discord.gg/NepentheZ. We've got Evo FC Team Sweat. So Team Sweat is going to be basically Prestige 26 V2, where the idea of this team is going to be using my best players that will get me promoted in Spark. If I have to buy players for it as well, I will. I basically want to start taking, I want to take Prestige 26 up to Iron. I want to take Road to Glory up to, I suppose, the bit different. Basically, there's maybe I should have a third club that I try and get promoted as well. But I want to take Prestige 26 up to Iron next season. I want to take Team Sweat up to Ice. Then I will again pay money or whatever to get Team Sweat better players again the next season and get them promoted. And so I basically want to start having one or two teams just moving up the ranks. Ideally, I want to kind of settle in and around gold and silver. And I will be making a video on why particularly gold and silver in the coming days. It has a lot to do with what has happened in my life since I bought X3. But yeah, I want to kind of get Prestige 26 and Team Sweat up into that region over time. So that's going to be the plan for Team Sweat. Then we've got Evo FC, the agency. So this one is for me to start with loans in at RevShare or agency players. And it just depends on whether or not I've got enough players in my agency to achieve that. And the idea is to move away from loaned in players or agency players and see how quickly we can transition it into a team full of first owned players. It's quite similar to a degree to Pack to Glory. The only difference is Pack to Glory is only eligible to have players from the packs that it earns, whereas the agency, I can, if I wanted to, go and give a whole bunch of rev share to get it promoted this season and earn nothing but get it up a division, and then do that again and get it up a division, then try and start figuring some revenue back to myself. I basically just want to get this one with loans and agency players in and see how quickly it can become a first owner team. And eventually I will, it's effectively just a fancy farm team, right? That's what it will be. We've then got Evo FC under 21, much like the Golden Oldies. This will just be filled with a whole bunch of under 21 players. There probably will be a rating cap on it, but that will be determined on what kind of quality Spark Division is. Because if I've got some under 21s, and I did manage to get a few younger players out of packs today, I got maybe 2 16-year-olds, definitely one 17-year-old. So I've got one 16-year-old, two 17-year-olds. Oh no, he's already in the dev center, and a couple of 19-year-olds. And I've got like a lot of 21 and younger players. But like, for example, Poma, he's 66 rated, right? So I'm not going to be putting him into that team because I would either sell this player. Did I pack him? I did. I could either sell him or loan him out and get some good MFL from him. So the idea there, though, will most certainly be to just build a team up with under 21s and let them kind of grow together. And if some of them are developed really, really nicely, they'll either be moved up to a different or better team that is like a bit more like kind of on the up and up, like maybe they'll go to Spark to Glory or to Prestige 26 or something like that, or they'll just be agencyed out to get more MFL in. And so, yeah, it'll just be effectively like an under 21 setup. Then we've got the Evo FC, the cost experiment, and the MFL experiment. So the cost experiment, this one here, this season, this club is going to be the cheapest market players that I can buy and see how long it takes to transition everything to first owner. So effectively, every single player at the start will be bought, not from my own agency. I will go out into the transfer market and I will buy the cheapest players that I can, but I'm not just looking for the $1 players like I had before, you know, like in some of the teams that I've had where they were just the $1 farm teams. I'll be looking for cheap players that also have the potential to either promote or do well, go far in the cup, things like that. So let's say for the sake of argument, I spend $50 on this team, maybe even $70 or $80 on this team. I want to see how long it takes me to transition into a first-owned team full of agency players, or rather, maybe not even like it's difficult to actually like kind of articulate what I mean by when I say first-owned, because first owned doesn't necessarily mean just the cheapest crap that I can put in there. It means like if I earn 1,800 MFL, I've effectively got 3 players. I don't necessarily have to put those 3 players into the team, but it's earned 3 players. So I suppose more of the experiment here is if I were to come onto the game new as a manager and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a team this season, but how long until I've got my own team? That's what I want to kind of like figure out. How long does it take to go from buying a team to having your own team, but also having fun, not just sitting bottom of the table getting dicked on every game, because that's not going to be fun either. So the idea is to figure out that, and if I do bring in a player that the club earns, the player that I have gets sold. But also it's a situation of if I buy a player for this team and then they do really well this season and progress well and I sell them for a profit, that also frees up funds to either come off the top line and say, okay, you know, we're now getting towards profit again. Alternatively, we can just buy 2 more players and kind of like have a bit of a better experience with the club. And then last but not least, the MFL experiment. So this one is the starting with loans or agency players again, but every single player that gets earned from this gets like agencyed out, basically. The idea of this club, and you're probably like sitting there saying like a lot of these clubs are very similar in nature, and they are. Like a lot of them have like similar kind of ideologies with small tweaks. The small tweak, like so for the agency, for example, this one is to start with loans or agency players, probably leaning more towards agency players, hence the reason why I called it the agency, and just see how long it takes to get a first owned team. Which I suppose actually now I'm kind of speaking it out loud, it almost is identical to Pact. No, the reason why Pact to Glory is different, and this is why I had for my thought experiment, the reason why Pact to Glory is different is because Pact to Glory will eventually, once it gets itself paid off, it will start saving the MFL that it earns to buy bigger packs. That's the point of Pact to Glory. For the agency, once it gets enough players to have earned to be within its own like ecosystem, financial ecosystem, effectively that's where tracking the club's data ends. And I just kind of want to see for these 3 here, the agency, the cost experiment, and the MFL experiment, how long does it take me to start with a group of agency players and then replenish them? Here is how long does it take me to buy a group of players and then replenish them? And they're effectively the same in principle, right? You're starting with a team of players, you're earning that low tier MFL. They'll probably end up finishing their jobs, so to speak, at the same time. I just wanted to showcase the different strategies of doing it with players that you buy players that you have through your agency versus players that you buy. And that's why the cost experiment will be a little bit different, because we'll be buying players, not just the cheapest players. I'll be trying to find good deals on age, good deals on stats that fit the bill of how I want to play, and players I think might have potential to grow still, have good kind of like progression opportunities. Whereas the agency here will just be taking players that I've got in my club and filling them in. And then the MFL experiment, this one is more about trying to make as much MFL off the team as possible by loaning out everything as quick as possible. So when it comes to, for example, Pack to Glory, we will feel free to suggest some other clubs, because I've got some licenses, so feel free to suggest some other stuff. When it comes to Pack to Glory, once we've kind of replaced all of the players that got bought in and they are their own entities now, they're kind of like self-contained, then we save the MFL there to buy bigger players to get the club going better. With the MFL experiment, once we've replenished the first group of players, so, I'll put 16 or 18 players into this club from the agency now. Once I've got 16 or 18 players that come from the MFL that they earn, and obviously to pick up, let's even say like to pick up 20 players for the sake of argument, I'm going to need to earn 12,000 MFL from this team over the course of time. Now, of course, based on the divisions there, it's probably going to take me a fair while to do that. It's not going to be quick. And that's fine. That's part of the point. But once this has earned its first 12,000 MFL or replenished those players straight away, the idea for Pack to Glory is to then save MFL. The idea for the MFL experiment is then to spend that MFL immediately, open the packs, literally track the players. So if the MFL experiment earns 1,800 MFL and I go and buy 600 MFL packs, I'm going to note those players down on the spreadsheet that I'll have for the MFL experiment, and then I will loan those players out. Obviously, if one of my players retires in the meantime and in between time, it will just continually replenish its own self. But I want to see, over time, how much MFL one club can make from itself over time. Because I have a feeling and we can speed up the processes of these and just say, actually, let's pretend that they already have self-contained things. That might be a lot more fun than actually the strategy of actually containing the players themselves. I don't know. You tell me what you think about that. Maybe we'll take a 50-50 split on it. Maybe some of them will pretend that they're already self-contained or whatever, and then the rest of them we won't. But I like the idea of getting this club earning its MFL, tracking the players and how much MFL they earn, and if they grow and go up to stone or iron or bronze and earn even more, it just kind of it's the proof of concept, I suppose, that you can farm at the lowest division and then loan out the players that you get, and it will bring in waves of MFL. Because obviously at the start, if we earn enough MFL to buy 3 or 4 packs, that's 3 or 4 more players that might bring in enough MFL over the course of one season to earn 1 more pack. So if the club's bringing in another 3 or 4 packs and the players bring in a pack, then after the 3rd season, the club brings in its 4 packs again or 3 packs again, and the 8 players bring in 2 packs. And then the next season, the 10 players bring in 3 packs. And then the next season, the players bring, do you know what I mean? It expands and extrapolates greatly. And I just want to kind of test those experiments. So it's very possible that I tweak slightly the ideas behind some of these clubs, because as I was writing it all out last night as to what I wanted every club to be, it all made sense in my head. But as I've gone through this again now with you guys, some of these clubs are so close. And it's okay if they're close anyway. At the end of the day, they'll just be a farm team regardless. But yeah, they will be so close that it might not be an engaging story with each of them. So yeah, let me know what you think with that, guys. And then last but not least, just looking at the players that I picked up, obviously, this is why it'd be really nice to know what season a player was born, because I would like to show you guys the best players and stuff. This guy was an interesting player. I have got some interesting players, actually. If we go, is there a way I can age, name, contract listing? No, there's no way, is there? There's no way. So let's have a look at overview. There's some players. I did get a few 54s today. I couldn't tell you who they were, but I got a centre back that has got really. This guy? No. I got a centre back that's got really good shooting and really good pace and really good dribbling. Let me go by attributes. Let me go overall max 54. And let's go by one thing, by the way, that I noticed when I was opening packs today, guys. Passing, it's really hard to get players with good passing stats. Really hard. Shooting. Is it one of these right backs? Yeah, it was this guy. 46 rated as a right back, but 68 pace, 64 shooting, and 61 physical. Now, he doesn't have striker as a secondary position, but even with that being said, damn, we're into 101,000 now, 101,424. Even with that said, I still think... Oh, wait, is it unavailable? Ah, never mind. I would like to have seen what his rating as a striker is, because he'll lose 15 attributes in each stat, right? So he'll go down to 53 pace, 51 shooting, and 46 physical. Okay, he'll go down to 41 dribbling as well and 30 passing. But I still think he might be like a 48, 49 rated striker, even with the monster deduction. So I got a few players that had some pretty cool like attributes and some pretty cool stats. I got one centre back that was not Casanova. He's quite old. He's from last season. I got one. This guy. He's got CDM. Has he got centre back? He's only got CDM. I got one CDM that's also got centre back as a secondary position, or maybe as a tertiary position. This guy, no, I can't remember. And they look like they would be really, really good as a centre back or even as a centre mid or CDM. So this guy's a pretty fun card as well. Only 19 years old for him. Decent pace, defending, physical, and passing for his overall rating. And so one of the things I'm going to do now tonight, guys, and one of the things that I'm going to do in general is just go and figure out ways to like find the best players for the best clubs based on all the strategies that I'm trying to go for. I don't think I'll be able to fill up all the clubs that I've got, so some of them might not even start until next season anyway. But yeah, going to go and try and build those clubs out now. And then tomorrow's video, guys, will be me kind of showcasing what clubs we've got, what players we've got in what clubs kind of fell by the wayside. And then if you guys do have any kind of like thoughts, feelings, or feedback on the clubs that I've kind of proposed here today, then let me know down below. But that is the plan for the next season. It's going to be a task to track all of these clubs and manage all of these clubs this season. But the one thing that I'm most excited for is the fact that other than probably 3 or 4 of them, because the Spark League now exists, I hope they're all competitive. I hope I log in every day or watch the matches every day and am excited because, you know, I had 3 clubs last season that just got smashed every single game. And it was like, this just isn't even fun to kind of look at. But I'm hoping that with the Spark division there, you know, worst case scenario, we can potentially look at some mid-table finishes, some upper mid-table finishes, some deep cup runs, things like that. But for today, guys, that is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rate, and comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.